There are 174 new attributes with the Foraging update. So to simplify things, in this video I'm going to be giving a basic attributes guide and letting you guys know the best attributes that you should go for in various different aspects of the game. Let's start with how to get shards. There are a few different ways to get shards. Whenever you hunt a mob and capture it with a lasso, net, or black hole, you'll get that mob's attribute shard. Then, by typing /hunting box, or HB for short, you'll be able to open your hunting box where you can siphon attribute shards to get their perks. If you right click, then you'll transfer that shard to an item so that you can sell them or give them to other players. You can also click this button at the top here to switch back and forth between your hunting box and attribute menu, or type /attribute menu, or AM for short. You can see all of the attributes that you currently have, and by clicking advanced mode at the bottom here, you can even see all of the attributes that you don't have. You can also transfer your old items with grayed out attributes to get shards and Ananke feathers, which give you some progress on your RNG meters. You can also sort by different stuff like ID, which includes sorting by rarity. You'll start with C1, which is common, and then go through until you get to U1, which is uncommon, and U2, which is a great band, and so on and so forth up to legendary. You can also sort by attribute level, which is really nice for seeing which attributes you've already maxed out and which ones that you have little or no progress on at all. You can also sort by different skills or just search up the exact shard that you want. This works for both the attribute title, shard name, or family. For example, I could look up Nature Elemental to get this attribute, or I could look up Grove because that's the shard or the mob that you get it from. And this will be super useful later when we get into attribute families and echoes, but because the title includes elemental, when I go to search up elemental, then I'll get all of the shards in the elemental family. For more shards, you can even go to the fusion machine on Galatea to fuse shards and get new ones. For shard hunting, there are a ton of mobs that will give shards. There are all of the hunting methods on the new Foraging Island Galatea, but you can also use a hunt axe and a black hole to get a bunch of shards from mobs that aren't on Galatea. To see if the mob has a shard, you can go to your attribute menu, make sure you're on advanced mode for this, and then just type the name of the mob. For example, a zealot has a shard, but an endermite does not. Be careful though, because if you're looking up something like a zombie, there are multiple different types of zombies, so just make sure that the mob name matches the shard name, which is the source right here. You'll also have a small chance to charm the mob that you kill so that it will also drop a shard. You get this by having Salt active, and salts can be found in your Lush Lilac collection. It's just the bonbons here. You see, you'll get a chance to get the shard from mobs even if you just kill them without doing any of the hunting stuff. You can also see the salts that you currently have active by going into the tab menu if you have that salt thing enabled, or by going to your just potion effects and it'll show up here under Lush Lilac. You can also see how much time you have left. You can also get more shards from each of the mobs that you hunt through any of the previously described methods by having a higher hunting fortune. You can get this from hunting level, hunter's cloak, the hunter's luck Heart of the Forest perk, the Kudra core accessory, hunter's karma attribute, and a bunch of other ways to increase fortune for specific attribute types. Anyways, your hunting fortune will increase the chance of getting double shard drops. If you get past 100 fortune, it works just like all of the other fortunes in the game by guaranteeing the double drop and then giving you a chance for a triple drop. Now that we understand the basics of hunting, shards, and attributes, let's get into the best attributes that you should get first. I've broken them up into some important categories throughout the game progression. Inevitably, you'll want to have all of these attributes to max level 10 for Skyblock XP, but these are just the best ones that you should get for now, until the prices all go down and you can buy other ones later. By the way, similar to the old attribute system, attributes get more expensive at higher tiers, so you'll need more shards to get the same boost. Keep this in mind, especially for the more expensive attributes, because you might only want to go to like 5, 6, or 7 instead of maxing it all the way out to 10. I also linked the spreadsheet that I used to make this video down in the description, and while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe and also check out the Discord. But for now, let's just start with the foraging category because I feel like that's the one where most people care about right now because I feel like a lot of people are going to be foraging. The Fanpire gives additional sweep at night, the Fanflare gives additional fig and mangrove fortune, and the Dreadwing gives additional forest essence. I mean, I think this is just nice to max out your forest essence shop, and then after you maxed it, you can then sell the rest of your essence just to get additional money. The Crow and Heron give additional sweep for fig and mangrove trees, but for some reason the Crow is just worse because it only gives 5 sweep for fig trees and the Heron gives 10 sweep for mangrove trees. I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Maybe it's just because you need more sweep for mango trees, I guess. The Tad Gang just gives additional sweep for each unique common that you're going to get, so try to buy as many as you can. I think most of the commons are pretty cheap, but I know there's some that are still in like the million or couple million of coin range, at least at the current moment of recording. The Bamboo Leaf gives additional sweep on axe throws, and the Mochi Bear gives additional sweep on melee axe usage. This is just the difference between right-clicking to throw your axe and left-clicking to actually just mine the tree. And from my experience, throwing your axe is just kind of bad, unless some like endgame sweat is going to be like, this is the most optimal way to chop trees. But for now, I think that axe throws are kind of just not that relevant. Sparrow and Seagull give additional fortune depending on the type of tree for each digit in that collection, for like fig and mangrove. Bambloom gives just foraging fortune. Galaxy Fish also gives a mix of like mining, farming, and foraging fortune, but this one's like much more expensive and it only gives 10 of each fortune at max level, which costs, a bit of money. Definitely wait for this price to go down before buying it all out. Beacon Mike gives stronger beacons, which is just more fortune and an additional chance for signal enhancers. Berries just gives double berries and sea loomies, which is nice to max out sea loomie collection or if you want to get it for all the crafts and stuff. I think the hunting attributes is another one that a lot of people would care about and be doing at the current moment. Again, like ones with like hunter fortune and stuff just gives you more attributes. So that's something that you're going to want while you're trying to get all these. Sea Serpent just gives stronger hunter attributes. The Megalith gives you additional hunter fortune. The Newt gives hunter fortune for common attributes. The Salamander gives hunter fortune for uncommon attributes. The Lizard King gives hunter fortune for rare attributes. And the Leviathan gives hunter fortune for epic attributes. And there's none that give for legendary attributes. Python gives you faster black holes. King Cobra gives you additional hunter fortune from black holes. Luma Squid gives pressure resistance. Joy Dive gives more respiration. These are just easier so that you survive longer when going for all these like aquatic based attributes. Eel gives you additional pull from your net. Now this is actually an interesting one because I feel like this is one of the only attributes that you might want to like periodically disable, because you can disable your attributes and it can be annoying for something like the cod for like the pull to like overspin it. So like you can tinker with this one. The Basilisk gives you faster lassos depleting stamina, so like the mobs that you catch with it will just get caught faster. Mossy Bait gives faster traps to catch mobs because this just takes ages. And then the Naga gives you an increased chance for the shard of that monster if you kill it and charm it with your salt. Next, I think I'll move into like the general overall like perks and buffs that just help you for most aspects of the game. Sycophant heals you a percentage of your max health on each mob kill. Rain Slime is kind of similar. It gives max mana on monster hit as opposed to monster kill. Now, the only difference is the mana one is, I'm assuming percentage, but it doesn't show percent because it's either not listed right or there's just some weird thing I don't understand here. Lapis Zombie just gives you more EXP for mobs, and Golden Ghoul gives you more coins per mob kill. Boreal Owl gives you more XP from Fan, which is just nice because you level your pets faster whether using the free or the paid options. Soul of the Alpha gives additional damage per Grandma Wolf pet combo. I think this is better for like clearing full rooms of mobs like in dungeons or something, because then you not only are clearing a bunch of mobs but actually need the damage to do more damage. Lapis Skeleton gives you a higher chance for level 6 and better books in super pairs. Croppeedle gives the higher chance for Crappie, Squash, and Fermento, just like, more drops from farming, technically more money. Toucan gives you more XP share, which again is just more pet XP. And then the Cinderbat and Dodo give additional magic find and pet luck. Next up, we've got the stat buffs category of ones that just give like pure stat buffs. For this, there's the Starborn attribute, which buffs all other shards of the Elemental family, which are all of the shards that I'm going to list right here on all the attributes. The Grove, Bramble, Sylvan, Terra, and Tenebris all give additional health, and for all of these, there's one of each rarity going from common to legendary. Each of them give the same thing, but you get them in different ways. The Mist, Tide, Cascade, Cryo, and Blizzard all give additional intelligence. The Flash, Quake, Bolt, Arrow, and Tempest all give additional strength. And these are all members of the Elemental family, so you get the additional buff from having the Starborn attribute. Now, these next ones aren't included in the elemental family, so they don't get additional buffs from the echo of the elementals. The Obsidian Defender gives you additional speed, Ghost gives additional true defense, Endstone Protector just gives you more percentage overall defense, Tauros gives additional overall percentage intelligence boost, and then we've got another separate subcategory for the Molethorn, which gives you stronger unlimited attributes, which is just the Jormung giving additional percentage overall strength, and the Ether Drake giving additional percentage overall crit damage. Next up, I think it's important to cover all the wisdoms, just because, more XP. First off, we've just got the Wyvern, which gives you stronger wisdom attributes, which just makes them slightly better. This includes the Panda Rye for foraging wisdom, Leatherback for hunting wisdom, Cavern Shade for mining wisdom, Sea Emperor for fishing wisdom, Dragonfly for farming wisdom, Lapis Creeper for enchanting wisdom, Condor for taming wisdom, and the Apex Dragon, which for some reason just gives more wisdom than the rest of them for combat. We've also got all the essence attributes. Komodo Dragon just makes all the essence attributes stronger, so you get more essence. Arduino for the Dreadwing, giving more forest essence. Glaciate Walker, giving more ice essence. Arachne gives more spider essence. Revenant gives more undead essence. Draconic gives more dragon essence. And Wither gives more wither essence. We've also got the powders. Iguana just makes all atomized attributes stronger, which are the ones that give you powders. Star Sentry gives mithril powder. Fist gives gemstone powder. And Stalagmite gives glaciate powder. Next up, we've got the box attributes. Now, there's the Cuboa, which just gives you stronger box attributes. And the two that I think are the most important are Hidiongon, whatever, increases the quality of boss rewards in the catacombs. Now, I'm assuming this is like more essence and higher chance to get like G6, more stars. That's what I'm assuming. Hideon Box, which gives you additional tuning points, just again, more stats. Additionally, there's like the dungeon combat related monsters, which I think are really important because it just makes you much stronger in dungeons. Like Chill just gives you a bunch of increased damage to skeletons. Zombie Soldier gives you increased damage to undead monsters. The Bruiser gives you increased damage to end monsters. Flaming Spider gives you increased damage to spider monsters. Drowned, more damage to humanoid creatures, which I don't really know what this means. I tested it with my training dummy, and I don't understand. Like, it didn't really work on zombies and skeletons unless it's, like, doing some weird bug or something where it's not actually counting them as humanoid creatures. I tried, like, witches and stuff, too, but, like, I don't know. Maybe there's some humanoid mobs that I just don't know about. And then the Cayman just gives you stronger ruler attributes, which are all these, like, more damage to these mobs. Wither Spectre is just like the old Breeze attribute. I mean, it's just nice to have. It was never really good as an attribute, but, as an additional perk, you can't complain. Falcon gives you more XP gain for pets from combat, which is just nice, more pet XP again. Thorn is just like Dominance, more damage at max health. Mimic, stronger dungeon blessings, that's pretty strong. XYZ, just mana regen. It's just like the old attribute. You just get higher mana regen. Spike, increased damage on next hit after being hit. So it's like a Thorn's ability, but on your own attack, which is kind of interesting. Kraken just gives vitality for basically more regen. Daemon, I don't know if it's like demon pronunciation. Gives you faster RNG meter, just like more rare drops. Prince gives a chance for Prince to add additional bonus score to a dungeon run. I'm assuming that this can happen multiple times throughout the dungeon run. I don't know if it's limited to like one per player, but Prince is like that like mob that you sometimes get when you blow up the crypts. Shiny Fish just gives you health regen. Burning Soul is just like the attack speed one. The Power Dragon is just like Elite, which just gives you increased damage to bosses and mini bosses, which is pretty good. Barbarian Duke just gives you increased melee damage, and Skeletor gives you increased damage from ranged weapons. These are really good. They just give you more damage in general, which overall, I think it's going to be crazy to see the damage differences, and I feel like there's a lot of things that are just going to be much easier now, like Slayers and Dungeons with these perks, along with like anything else related to combat. We've also got some interesting attributes that don't really fit in other categories, and they're actually really cool. The chameleon makes it so that fusions with chameleons grant the next 3 IDs as a result. Now this doesn't seem too good because you're just like combining an attribute to get like the next 3 in the ID line. Like this is actually really nice because what you can do is you can buy a really cheap attribute that's right before an expensive one and combine it with the chameleon to get that expensive one. The crocodile gives you additional chance for double shards from reptile fusion, which, you know, chameleons are technically a reptile. And then we've got the Tiamat, which gives you Echo of the Echoes, which makes all Echo attributes stronger. Which sounds really confusing, but there's all these attributes that I was listing before that just gave you stronger buffs to other attributes. Those are all the Echoes. Like, so all the attributes that buff other attributes are buffed by this attribute. I know, a bit confusing. Anyways, that's the full attribute guide. Hope you guys found this video useful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.